Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to apply the Lanczos resample effect to live camera preview using CameraX in native Android application with Media 3 effects. So let's get started. Now if you don't know what the Lanczos resample effect is, like even I'm not really sure, but it is mostly used for image processing to scale images. So yeah, that's what I know, and that too I asked ChatGPT about this. To be completely honest with you, even I don't really understand it. But yeah, maybe some of you might be already knowing this and might be helpful for you guys for this particular tutorial. So yeah, first I'll show you guys the output. So I think it is still building on my native Android application. I will be mirroring my device, so the output might be a little bit laggy. Just bear with me over here. I have created a native Android application using XML layout, but if you want, you can use Jetpack Compose as well. Then by the time the app is still building, okay, it is already available. So let's just show it to you. So it is still connecting. Okay, so first it asks for me the camera permission. I'll just give the permission. Like I said, it is used for image processing, so the output will not be that different. So here I mean, it is a bit different, like it is kind of like a blurry output. This is not what my actual the thing which I'm projecting via my camera, this is not what it looks like. It has blurred out significantly. Also the Media 3 effects which we are using are still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, so there is some performance penalty. So here you can see, like I have applied like you need to pass some number inside Lanczos resample. That's why the output is extremely blurry. But yeah, I'll just change the change the value of our Lanczos resample. Maybe then it might be a little bit proper. So here you can see I'm using 2020. Maybe I'll just make it 5 and 5 over here. Let's try to rerun this. Also, like I saying, Media 3 effect is still a bit is still in alpha. Like this Camera 3 Media 3 effect is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, so the performance will improve till it reaches stable. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, I think if I just make it 5, then it is even worse somehow. Like I said, I'm not really sure about this Lanczos resample. Let me just make it 30. Let's see what happens if I make it 30. I think lower the value, it is somehow messing up the UI. So here you can see this is how the Lanczos resample effect looks like for 30. Now if you want, you can just click on this take photo button as well, and it will capture the photo for you. Again, like I said, I am running on a very cheap Android device and I am facing some performance issues, and also I'm mirroring my device, so it might be even look more janky for you. But here you can see this is how the captured image looks like. So yeah, let's see how to do this. So first you just have to go to your build.gradle file, and here I have just added all these dependencies: this camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, Android X Media 3 effect, and Media 3 effect. Now I'm using version catalog, that's why the versions are inside the slips.versions.toml file. So here I have added this camera core dependency, camera 2 dependency, then this Media 3 effect dependency, which is alpha at the time of me recording this video. I think Media 3 effect version is even a new dependency is available. I guess 1.7.1 is available, so that's great. I think this got just updated by just yesterday, I guess, when I actually created this tutorial. So let's just use the latest one, and here you will have to add this camera 2, camera core, then this camera view, camera lifecycle, and here you have to add this Android X Media 3 effect as well as this Media 3 effect. So make sure you add all of this. Then you will have to click on the sync now button, and it will automatically download the dependencies for you using Gradle. Then you will have to go to manifest, Android manifest.xml, and here you will have to use this camera feature, internet permission, then the camera permission, as well as the write external storage permission. Then you will have to go to activity_main. I'll just go to this layout file, and here is our preview view. So here you can see I'm occupying constraining it to all sides of the screen, so it will occupy the entire width and height of the screen. Then here is our button, for which I have given the width and height as wrap content. The ID is image capture button, text is take photo, and here I am constraining it to the bottom of the screen. Okay, like I said, we are adding all these permissions. Then you will have to go to main activity. Firstly, these are all the imports. Now feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. I can't say much about this. Then here I have annotated with @unstable API. So the reason is, so if I uncomment the unstable, here you can see I'm getting an error for this. Now this scale to fit is not coming from the alpha version of this media 3 effect. It is coming from this stable version of media 3 effect, but still it is unstable. The API unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development, but hopefully by the time you watch it, there should be a new version of media 3 effect, and hopefully we don't have to add this annotation of unstable. Then here we have defined this image capture. Here is our camera executor. Here is our preview view. Here is our button. Then I have defined a register for activity result, where I am requesting multiple permission. Here I have assigned value of true for permission granted. Then here we are just looping over all this, and if permission is not given, I just say permission granted equal to false. If it is false, then we just display a toast message, else we start a camera. Then inside on create, we initialize our viewfinder as well as our button, and on click of the button we just call take photo. If all permissions are granted, then we just call start camera, else we request permission. Here we initialize our camera executor as well. Then here we have this take photo button. If image capture is not defined, then we just return. Then here we define a name using simple date format. Here is our content values, for which we pass the display name, the MIME type. If it is greater than Android P, we also set the relative path. Then here we have this image capture.output file options by passing the content resolver as well as external content URI. Then we do image capture.take picture. We pass the output options, and here we override two methods, on error as well as on image saved. So once image is saved, you also get the URI of the saved image. So if you want to display it inside an image view, you can do that as well. Then we just do camera executor.shutdown and display a toast message. Then here is our start camera method, for which we define an aspect ratio as well as a resolution selector. Then here is our process camera provider.get instance. We add a listener for that as well. Then here is our preview view, setting the resolution selector as well and building it. Then here is our image capture, setting resolution selector as well as capture mode as well. Then here we are using the default back camera. Here is our use case group builder.build, adding preview as well as image capture use case. Then here is our media 3 effect. Then here we set the list of effects. So for now we are just setting this Lanczos resample effect, and I think there are different values for Lanczos resample. If I just show it to you, I think there is, okay, there is only scale to fit, I guess. I thought there might be some other methods as well. Okay, I think for now they have just exposed scale to fit, but you can play around the width and height values. And then we add it to our use case group builder. Then we unbind our camera provider, bind to our life cycle. Then here one method for requesting permissions. Then here we have another method just to check whether permission was granted. Inside on destroy, we just do camera executor.shutdown, and then here we just define one file name format variable and one variable for permissions. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.